Welcome back to Chuck D Football TV. Welcome back to Chuck D Football TV. I raised my hand high. Listen, I said if Real Madrid lost, I would come and humble myself. I'll come and humble myself. I delayed making a video as regards the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona and Real Madrid because I needed time to heal. To be fair. I'm hurt. I am hurt. There's a lot to talk about on this video. There's a lot to talk about on this video as regards the game. The game on Saturday between Real Madrid and Barcelona Copa del Rey final. Man. What a hell of a season Real Madrid is having. What a hell of a season. Where do I even start from? I'm just going to speak honestly, right? I'm just going to speak honestly. This is a conversation, from me to you guys. I don't even want to do anything in a sequence way. I just want to talk. So just pardon me if my thoughts are a bit scattered, but this is just no prepping. This is just real conversation. And please comment before I start. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you really like what I have to say. Man. So I'll start with the season in general. We all know that Real Madrid hasn't been good, hasn't been in top form. And I don't like to be, like I've said in previous videos, I don't want to be one of those fans that I am on cloud 9 when my team is doing well. And when my team is doing bad, I start to insult and sack the coach, blame everyone, all that type of stuff. I don't want to be that fan because piggybacking off last year, Real Madrid were incredible. Do you understand? We won most competitions. We were on fire last season. And this season has gone the total opposite. And I wouldn't say the total opposite because we are still, in contention for a few trophies. I mean, in contention for the Copa del Rey, which we lost. We're in contention for the Club de España, which we lost against Barcelona. We are still in contention for the La Liga trophy, which Barcelona is also leading. And big kudos to Barcelona because they have been fantastic this season. Big kudos to Hansi Flick. They have been incredible this season. And as much as I am not a Barcelona fan, you can't take it away from them. I always say that, yes, I am a Real Madrid fan. Yes, I am an Arsenal fan. But first of all, I am a fan of football. And credit has to be given to who it's due. And you have to give it to Barcelona. They have wifed us this season. They have destroyed us this season. And by the way, we are still going to play them in La Liga. There's still another El Clasico to happen. And if they beat us again in that one, then it's imagine losing 4 times to the same team in one season. You've lost 2 finals against them and 2 games in the league. It will be a disgrace. It will be an embarrassment. Barcelona they're on course to win a treble this season. They're on course to win a treble this season. They still have the La Liga to complete. They still have the Champions League, to go. They still have 2 games in the Champions League. One versus Inter and one versus whoever wins between PSG and Arsenal in the final. So they have been incredible this season. What can I say? Lamine Yamal, phenomenal. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Pedri, Kubasi. These guys have been. I don't know what. The way Hansi Flick has drilled this guy is amazing. It's amazing, but not enough of the, deriding of Barcelona. I want to focus on my team, Real Madrid. Speaking on the game, on Saturday, we started off bad because the first half was atrocious. Like, Barcelona could have scored. By the end of first half, they could have been leading us like 3-0. I don't know how they didn't score more than one. I don't know how they didn't score more than one. We were lucky that first half. That is just the fact. We were lucky. I don't know how Mendy started that game. Somebody that has been injured. I don't know how he started that game, but I think he was substituted in the 8th minute. If I'm I might be wrong, but I think it was like in the 8th minute or something like that when he got injured and was substituted, which made us one substitution short. Mbappé didn't start that game. So Barcelona's press was incredible in the first leg. Barcelona's press was incredible. Like, the way they pressed Real Madrid was different. We couldn't get, and I'm speaking of the first half, we couldn't get past our half. We couldn't get past our half. They pressed us all round. Barcelona pressed us all round. We couldn't progress the ball forward. Each time we tried to progress the ball forward, they collected the ball. They were going to attack. Like, there were even some janky calls, some penalties that could have gone in favor of Barcelona, to be fair. So they pressed us. It looked like a disaster in that first half. It looked like a disaster waiting to happen. Now, let me talk about the first goal. The first goal by Pedri. Phenomenal goal. I've always rated Fran Garcia, but that guy has a lot of work to do. I think maybe because it was the final of the Copa del Rey, big game, I think it's got to him because he was very mistake prone, very, very mistake prone. And the guy couldn't keep up with Lamine Yamal. He needed help. Lamine Yamal had to be doubled up, tripled up. He had Madrid defenders on toast. I know Lamine Yamal is very good at dribbling and cutting in, especially from the right with that left. But I underrated how good that guy is in passing. How his passing accuracy is incredible. Now look at that first goal. What was Bellingham doing? Somebody that was supposed to be tracking Pedri. If you look at the first goal, Pedri started that attack with a diagonal cross to Lamine Yamal, and Lamine Yamal cut in from the right wing. Now, if you look at that goal, now let's pause and look at that goal. What were that amount of Real Madrid players doing? It was like 4 or 5 Madrid players on Yamal alone and left so much space for Pedri. Where was Bellingham to track back? Where was Vini to track back? I think he tracked back or tried to help, what's his name? Fran Garcia. But Valverde, Rudiger, all these guys, all of them focused on Lamine Yamal and just left that midfield opened. And Bellingham is very good at tracking back. I don't know where he was. The goal was so stupid and so foolish by Real Madrid. So foolish to have all your attention on one player and leave so much space in the midfield for a player like Pedri, who's been probably arguably the best midfielder in the world this season or this year. Now, we you know, we came back with an incredible goal from Mbappé, an incredible free kick. You know, then we made some incredible substitutions with the bringing in of Adagula. Who else came in? Modrić came in. So Adagula, who has been phenomenal, I think this is a claim for him to start starting matches. He should start starting matches now. Adagula, he brings a lot, creatively wise. He brings a lot into that Real Madrid team. So you know, we didn't win the game, so I don't really give a damn about our goals because it didn't lead anywhere. Speaking on the second half, Madrid dominated. We dominated Barcelona. We dominated them. We were all over them. Certain players I want to call out. I want to call out 3 players. I'll start by calling out Fran Garcia. Fran Garcia was atrocious. He was a disgrace. He was poor. Another player I would like to call out is Vini. Vini was useless that game. Absolutely useless. Like, something about Vini, he would always give you an attacking threat because that is who he is. He's very good on the ball. He's very quick. He can dribble. He will always threaten the team. But some of his decision makings, some of his decision making that game was absolutely diabolical, bad. Two chances this guy could have made a correct pass. This guy was just doing rubbish, doing absolutely arrant nonsense, to the point that they had to remove him. How can you be in a final against a team like Barcelona and you are arguably the best player on your team and you have to be taken off? We never saw this with Ronaldo. We never saw this with Messi. Now, I know comparing players to these Martians is like far-fetched, but you're supposed to be the star player of your team and you're supposed to play every minute especially in a game like that. But because it was so bad, decision making so poor, they had to take him off. They had to take him off. And do I blame Carlo Ancelotti? No. Because dude was just useless. Then the third player I have to blame is Brahimi. Brahimi cost us that game. He cost us the game. He lost that game for Real Madrid. And I think there should be some repercussions for things like that. Madrid is a big club. We shouldn't allow things like that. There should be some repercussions for things like that. If he sits more on the bench next season, if that is the price, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So back to the second half, we gained momentum. We were all over Barcelona. I mean, I don't think they were surprised that they won. Incredible free kick by Mbappé. I think when Mbappé came in, he ran the game. They couldn't deal with him. They were scared. They were petrified of his pace and his skill. They were petrified. So we equalized 1-1. At that point, I was really happy. Then we pressed. An incredible corner kick from Adagula. Incredible header from Tchouaméni, who was also fantastic in the game. At that point, this was like 82nd minute. In my mind, I was like, we have won the game already. We just need to hold on. But hey, here we go. Fran Garcia being stupid, couldn't pin Yamal down. Incredible pass by Yamal to Ferran Torres. Rudiger. I thought Rudiger was going. Rudiger is usually stupid sometimes and just arrantly just does stupid decisions, like the way he tackles and just acts like a child sometimes. I thought if any point at which he was going to be his usual stupid self was going to be that point. At least if he was to pull Ferran Torres back or hold his shirt or something, just take the yellow card or take the red card, whatever. That would have been the points to do it. But of course, the world-class fool in Thibaut Courtois. I don't know what he was doing outside. I don't know what he was doing outside. He had no reason to be out. And that cost us the second goal by Barcelona. Useless decisions cost us the second goal by Barcelona. And then we took it we went to extra time. Obviously, I'm just cutting through, I'm just skimming through because I don't want to make this video a long-winded video. You guys already know. You guys watched the match, so I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. We got into extra time. We pressed them in first half of extra time. We did press them. And by second half of extra time, I actually thought it was going to go to the wire. It was going to go to penalty shootouts. That's what I thought. And penalty shootouts is anyone's game. And with Real Madrid, it's very dangerous to go into penalties with us because Thibaut Courtois is good in saving pens. We have guys that are good at taking penalties. Vinicius, although they've missed some pens this season, but Vinny is usually good at, Vinny wasn't good, my bad, Vinny wasn't going to take a pen, he was out. Mbappé, we have Mbappé, we had Goulet, Rudiger, who is good at pens, Bellingham, who is good at pens, Modrić, who is good at pens. Who else? Lucas Vazquez, who is very good at pens. So we have guys that could have, if the game had gone towards pens, could have salvaged the game for us. And if we had won by pens, I would have taken it like that. I don't give a damn how we won. It's the cup that matters. But then, Brahim had to. What was he doing? What was he doing? You see why some players are just good to be on the bench? Their calling is just to be on the bench. They don't deserve to start. And it's things like that. Basically pulled on everybody's hard work. The hard work Bellingham had put in that game, Tchouaméni had put in that game, Rudiger was taped up like a mummy because of injuries. Asensio, all these guys had put in so much work, but some moron had to just spoil everything for everybody. In Brahim, what was he doing? What was he doing? If anybody did something like that, I don't expect it from someone like Brahim, because he's so skillful and so good on the ball. What was he hesitating for? And the same thing that happened with the first goal, the first Pedri goal, that midfield just being open. And he left an opening for Jules Koundé, and he took his shots well and won. They did a remontada on us, Real Madrid. This season has been bad. It has been bad. It has been bad. I think it's time for a change. And when I say change, to be fair, I'm probably the only fan that does not want Ancelotti to go, because he's an incredible coach. He's won a lot of trophies for us. He's the most successful coach in Madrid history. He's known for winning big trophies. So he's allowed to have a bad season. He's allowed to have a bad season. So I'm not going to fault him too much for that. But we as a team, Real Madrid, we need some reinforcements in summer. Apparently, I think Trent is coming, so that should help. Carvajal, the loss of Carvajal, Militao has really affected us this season. The loss of Carvajal has really affected us this season. The loss of Militao has really affected us this season. Those crucial injuries have affected us. I think even in that game, if Camavinga was present in that game, it would have done a lot for us in that midfield. it would have done a whole, because he's so good and comfortable on the ball, so strong as well. That would have done a lot for us. So I think we need some reinforcements this season. Not in a lot of positions, but we need reinforcements in defense. We need reinforcements in defense. We need reinforcements in left back and right back. Those are the 3 positions I think we need reinforcements in the most. Alaba is finished. Dude is finished. I think dude has to go. He's finished. Adds nothing to the team. You know, he's won a couple trophies at Real Madrid, so big ups to him. Incredible player in his day, but I just think he brings nothing to Real Madrid. Fran Garcia still needs some developing. Mendy injury prone. Carvajal injury prone. Lucas Vazquez cannot be our option in right back going forward. We need a proper right back. If somebody like Reece James were fit now and was the player that we all hoped he would be, he probably would have been the first choice instead of Trent, because he's good. He's better than Trent defensively. But Trent is world class, and if he joins Real Madrid, it will be a very, 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 very big addition to our squad, because we would, you know, now he can play that position if Carvajal is out, and Valverde can come back to his natural position, which is that midfield. So we need a lot to we have a lot to do. Real Madrid. Now they apparently Don Carlo Ancelotti, he's leaving by the end of the season, so it will be interesting to see who comes in to be Madrid's coach. I heard Klopp might be the next Real Madrid coach. I also heard Xabi Alonso. So, you know, all incredible coaches. You know, I would love to see how things plan out. I think Klopp might be the one. Klopp might be the next Real Madrid coach, and that should be interesting to see how things go. So yes, that's really about it, man. I don't really want to harbor on. I'll also do a game for the pre-Arsenal match against PSG. I'll be releasing that tomorrow. So you guys look out for that. I'll try to release it early in the day. Yeah, that's really about it, man. I'm hurt. I thought we would have, if we had won this game, it would have really destabilized Barcelona. It would have lowered their confidence. And if they now lose again to Inter Milan, which will lower their confidence more, then maybe lose like another game or 2 in the La Liga race and Madrid catches up. This is just wishful thinking. I just felt like if we had beaten them in that Copa del Rey final, it would have had a lot to do. It would have had a lot of effect in their psyche. But now that they are on a winning roll, they feel like they cannot lose. And sometimes when you hit, as an athlete or somebody that performs, when you hit that trajectory of winning, it becomes a habit, just like losing. So big ups to Barcelona, man. You just have to give it to them. It is what it is. They've just been stomping on our heads this season. What can I say? But if you've watched this video to this point, please like, comment. If you have anything to say, you can leave a comment, and please subscribe. You know, let's build this channel together. I appreciate it, man. Until next time, peace, guys.